The Uncharted collection on the PlayStation 5 offers you 3 different performance modes. We have 120 FPS, 60 FPS, and if you like to be remembered how it was to play PlayStation 4 games, we have a rock stable 30 FPS cinematic mode. I'm not a fan of 30 FPS gameplay at all, but nevertheless, I compared the Fidelity, Performance and Performance Plus mode, and if you like to have the best experience in terms of visuals, then the Fidelity mode is the way to go. The native 4K resolution from the Fidelity mode offers you a very sharp picture when you're not moving around, because the 30 FPS on the other hand, destroying the nice look from the picture. Everything gets very blurry. Compared to the Performance Plus and the Performance mode, the Fidelity mode offers you the best anti-aliasing thanks to the higher resolution. Especially on fences, on objects with very fine details, you can clearly see a difference. But to be very honest, doing gameplay, it was less obvious than doing my testing. I personally can't stand 30 FPS gameplay anymore, that's why I'm mainly focused on the Performance Plus and Performance mode. And the difference between those two modes is actually smaller than you may think. Let's talk about the Performance Plus and Performance mode. The Performance Plus mode offers you 1080p resolution and 120 FPS. The Performance mode, on the other hand, offers you a 1440p resolution and 60 FPS. One important thing what we need to know is that all the 3 modes offering a native resolution. There is no dynamic resolution in this game. Therefore, you will experience some frame rate drops in the 60 FPS and also in the 120 FPS mode. But, and this is my own experience, it is far away from unplayable. It was actually in 99% of the time no issue at all. The 30 FPS Fidelity mode, on the other hand, offers you, and I told you this already, a rock stable 30 FPS cinematic mode. Okay, so let's talk about viewing distance and eyesight, because this is, in my opinion, very important when we're talking about resolution and when we're doing all this comparison and zooming in, because at the end it really doesn't matter if you can't see it anymore. And yeah, viewing distance is, in my opinion, a very big factor. So in my case, I'm sitting 1.8 meters away from my 65-inch TV and I just love it, okay? But we need to consider a normal living room situation, and also we need to keep in mind there's a WAF, a women acceptance factor, okay? So that means you can't put the TV to the place where you like it, okay? Because she doesn't like it. And I'm not making this stuff up. Anyway, okay, this is something what we need to consider, because if you have maybe a 55-inch TV at home and your viewing distance is 4 meters or even higher, there is no way that you can tell the difference between the Performance Plus and the Performance mode. And maybe, depending on your eyesight, you're having trouble already to see the difference between the Fidelity and the Performance Plus mode. But what you maybe can feel in certain games, not saying in this game, but what you can maybe feel and what you can maybe see is 60 versus 120 FPS. Okay, let's talk about one feature I'm still missing on the PlayStation 5, and by the way, the Xbox Series X or S are not really better because not all of the games are supporting this feature, and I'm talking about VRR, verbal refresh rate. And if you don't believe me that the games must support this feature, then just do me a favor, play Halo the Master Chief Edition on the Xbox Series in 120 FPS, and even with VRR enabled on a capable screen, you will see stuttering from time to time. In this case, I like to replace the Performance Plus mode with a new mode, let's call it VRR enabled. And all what I like to do is I like to keep the resolution from the performance mode, and I like to unlock the frame rate with this new mode. And then we can play in a higher resolution in up to 120 FPS. So just keep in mind, the 1080p mode in this game, the Performance Plus mode, is able, or let's say like this, the PlayStation 5 is able to play this game in 1080p in 99, maybe 98.5% of the time with stable 120 FPS. And also, remember, we don't have any dynamic resolution in this game. So that means there's really all the time 1080p output. So that means to me that if we now increase the resolution to 1440p, the PlayStation 5 is most likely able to play or run this game, let's say between 70 and 90% of the time in 120 FPS with the higher resolution. And we don't have any dips anymore in terms of frame rate drops, because thanks to VRR. And now just imagine if we enable VRR for the 4K mode. We're not talking about 30 FPS anymore. We're talking maybe about 40, 50, maybe almost close to 60 FPS. My personal recommendation to play this game is the 120 FPS mode, the Performance Plus mode. And yes, you lose a little bit of resolution compared to the performance mode 1440p versus 1080p, but you gain a lot of picture clarity thanks to 60 FPS more. And this is, in my opinion, more important than a little bit of higher resolution. But of course, that's just my personal opinion. I would love to read your opinion about this. So make sure you put a lot of comments in the comment section. And as always, if you're new to my channel, do me a big favor, like, subscribe, and leave me a comment. Thank you very much. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.